A vote is not a stone to throw in anger. It is the pen that writes your future. The voice that speaks long after you've left the ballot box. And the power that can build or break a nation. Remember to get your ID and register as a voter today. Only then you can build your future with purpose. Welcome to Mastasos G Educators. This is where knowledge meets action, and action builds a new nation. With you is the voice of Gombe Tom Mboya. My voice today is not just another political analysis. It is a call to conscience, a mirror to society, and a drumbeat for revolution. Today, I invite you to walk with me through a reflection so deep, so necessary, and so urgent, as we commemorate a day that has shaped Kenya's democratic soul. A day that reminds us that silence is never neutral, and that people power is always greater than the people in power. Saba Saba, the People's Day. Why Kenya is rising. Wakenya wenzangu, on Monday, that is the 7th of July 2025, is Saba Saba, a historic day, a revolutionary day. But also, you have to remember of how far we have come and how far we still have to go. Saba Saba, July 7th. It is not just a date on the calendar. It is a spirit, a movement, a cry. It began in the year 1990 when brave Kenyans rose up and said, enough. Enough to the single-party dictatorship. On that day, thousands of Kenyans filled the streets of Nairobi, demanding a multi-party democracy. And despite the arrests, the beating, the torture, the bullet, they still stood firm. That courage gave us a voice, a chance, a constitution. But today, we face a new kind of dictatorship, polished in suits, fluent in English, with great oratory skills, yet very brutal, very corrupt, and disconnected from the people. But why are Kenyans rising again? Today, it's not about fighting for multipartyism. We already won that battle. And let me be very clear. We are not enemies of the state. We are the state. We are not protesting because we hate Kenya. We are on the streets because we love Kenya. So enough that we have to fight for her. So, what are the real issues that are inevitably pushing the patriotic Kenyans, the suffering Kenyans, and the young generation to the streets? Well, we know state violence and police brutality is an obvious cause. The young people are being killed in cold blood. Peaceful protesters are being shot. They are being tortured and disappeared. Just last month, we buried brothers, as you know, and many of our sisters, whose only crime was raising their voices. Economic sabotage, very obvious, you know. The Finance Bill 2024, you can relate. It was a direct attack on the hustler. Higher taxes on unga, fuel, sanitary pads, and even bread, while billions of monies are being stolen by the politically connected. The youth are very tired of paying for greed of the elite politicians. Life is getting tough. Of course, political betrayal could not miss on the list as to why we get on the street. The same leaders who begged for votes are now insulting us. They call us treasonous criminals. They call us jobless and idle minds. They dismiss our cries, but we have seen through their lies. Kenyans are not just protesting a bad law. We are rejecting a failed system. Systemic collapse, as you know, unemployment in Kenya is at its crisis level. Schools are very much underfunded. Hospitals lack medicine. Yet the government lives lavishly. They buy luxury cars. They build private mansions. They buy and travel in first class aircrafts. And as you also know, they do this on borrowed money. This is why we say the regime must go and the system must be overhauled. And indeed, when Kenyans say that Ruto must go, they do not necessarily say that he goes as a man. He needs to go as a system. It is a symbol of a broken system that needs to be overhauled. But what does the Saba Saba day of the year 2025 really mean? The Saba Saba today, it is not going to be just about marching. It is about awakening. It is about education. It is about organizing. We are not asking for a cabinet reshuffle this time. We are not begging for inclusion. We are demanding for a total system overhaul, a clean break from tribal politics, a clean break from impunity, and a clean break from inherited power. We want a transition, not a transaction. What we seek is not a deal with the old guards. What we want is a people-led transitional process that, number one, ends police killings and prosecutes those who are responsible. A transition that cancels the odious deaths. A transition that will help us to recover the wealth and return it to the people. A transition that will establish a youth-led civic movement that puts people before profit. A transition that will reform the Electoral Commission, the judiciary and security forces. This is about reclaiming Kenya for the people. But I have a message to the youth, the young people of Kenya. To my fellow youth, do not underestimate your power. You are not just angry. You are aware. And the awareness is the first step to revolution. Use your phone to educate. Use your voice to organize. And use your heart to remain peaceful, because violence is their weapon, not ours. To the elite political class, of course, I could not fail to have a message for you. Your time is up. We have seen your tricks, dividing us by tribe, bribing us with handouts, and lying to us on television. But this generation has turned you off and logged into reality. We are not looking for saviors. We are becoming our own solution. But my final word, this Saba Saba, don't just commemorate it. Participate. Be part of this new history. Speak up. Step out. Share truth. Educate. Engage. Let your children one day say, My mother stood up. My father spoke out. My big sister marched. My brother created chance. Because Saba Saba is not just about the past. It is about the future. A future we are building. Not through fear, but through truth. Not through tribalism, but through silence. Not through tribalism, but through unity. Not through silence, but through courage. This is Gombe Tom Mboya. And this is Mastasos G Educators. This is your voice, a voice for Kenya. Let's go to work.